My fifth resource that I chose was Kahoot. So it is getkahoot.com. It's not Kahoot it because that's what you sign into when you have a Kahoot, when you have made a Kahoot and they're playing it. And it is a great way to check student comprehension without giving them quiz after quiz after quiz. Some kids get anxiety when given quiz, and this website makes quizzes fun. Kahoot is a great alternative to the same type of assessment ISTE teachers do A. The kids get very competitive. They want to get the top score. ISTE student 5B. There are thousands of public Kahoots you can use with your class, but I would recommend making your own. There can be mistakes in the public ones that I quickly found out while I was going through them. The students need a device to play the Kahoot on which um, can be a challenge if they don't all have iPads or computers. Students can also play on their phone if they don't have any other device, which is what I'm going to be doing to kind of show you. But first, you need to create a Kahoot. So, we just started, and then there were none by Agatha Christie. So I was going to make a Kahoot for it. So you can name it anything you want, but since we're doing, and then there were none. Probably, well, probably chapter should be 2 through 9, because that's the next one that I'm doing. I did the first quiz on paper. So question 1, who wrote and you can also upload pictures, things like that, but I'm not going to just because it's a little harder. Okay, so answer 1. You can have several correct answers in there. So Agatha Christie, you can put these in any order. She also goes by, Agatha Christie also had a pen name. So if I really wanted to confuse my kids, I could put in there her pen name, even though she didn't write it, but I'm not going to confuse her. So then I could put random things like Shakespeare, another Edgar Allan Poe, um, things like that, or Mrs. Allen. Okay, I could have several of them. I could actually have them all be correct if they're doing discussions or things like that. And then just do not forget to save and continue, but you also need to make sure that you add a question, which is at the bottom. So, okay, so question 2 could be what was, and then there were none published as. What your name was, and there was none, and then there were none. I don't know why. The name was, and then there were none published. Okay, so I guess let's mix it up a little bit. Murder on the Orient Express. Another Agatha Christie book. 10 Little Indians. And then there were Fewer, which is a spinoff of Family Guy. And so then I could just have 3. I could just have 3 on there. So I can hit save and continue. So then you can edit them. This one first, things like that. And then once you go, and then there were none, you can do, must be a primary audience. Not going. And then you can just be done. So then you can play. Oh my god. And you would edit, because I did chapter wrong, but you could do classic or team mode. So then they would just wait. Okay, and then they'd put the game pin in and they would start it. So it's pretty simple. If you want to go back and edit it, edit the name since, I'm silly and didn't put chapter correctly. You can do that and go back. I did that several times when I had several different classes for Romeo and Juliet so that they weren't all knowing the same questions over and over because I have 6 classes that were taking a Kahoot. So you can go back in there and fix it and things like that. There's also the public Kahoots. Which when I was doing Martin Luther King, which I found, I was like, oh, that'd be great to do with my students. I think it was this one. Some of them they were just very, very wrong. So, I don't think it was this one, but I would just make sure that you were doing, if you do the public Kahoots, that I would go through before you do them with your class and make sure that there aren't mistakes, but there's lots of fun Kahoots that you can make yourself. You can put pictures in, things that you can save, things like that, which make it a little bit more fun. But it is a really fun way to check for understanding. And I gave the top 5 of my kids extra credit, like 10 points extra credit. That makes them want to instead of just playing on their phone for 10-15 minutes. So I think that it's really fun and a great way to get kids involved in it. And the best part is you can use it from, kindergarten up until I think it's a fun thing to even do in college, but up through high school, and kids really have fun and get into it and really competitive. So that's why I chose Kahoot, and it is a great way to just get your kids involved.